Hello everyone and welcome to Totally Online Gaming Group's 5th edition D&D campaign, The Blackest Heart. We're glad you guys could join us. Hopefully you were in early and saw the information going across in kind of the pre-show video there so that we don't have to repeat it. So I'm just going to go a couple quick announcements. As always, our sponsor, Critical Hit Gaming Supplies. Got to give them a shout out. They are awesome. Check out their stuff. Great minis, dice, more. Check them out, and use the TOGG 15 code at discount or as a discount code when you check out to get 15% off. Also, want to mention, just as a reminder for everyone, and this will be the last announcement before we head into the game, is that starting as of it was last week, I believe, and continuing on this week and all the way through our giveaways, I will be giving away up to 3 free Tier 1 gift subs to the first 3 people that grab the Hook Me Up achievement, which is 5,000 TOGG points. So if you spend your TOGG points on that, you will get a free Tier 1 gift sub. So make sure, if you're not following, you follow. That'll get you points. You're active in chat. That'll get you points. And if you want, you can donate cheer bits to the channel. And for every 100 cheer bits you donate, we will add 500 points to your TOGG points, so that would get you up quicker. All right. That's it for announcements, unless anybody's got anything else that they want to announce. No? Okay. So without further ado, bring you The Blackest Heart. All right, and we are back. So, to let you know where we last left off, and we will have some of our other players are currently doing dishes. Jacob. And another one is we're trying to roust her from bed. Apparently she didn't...
I'm trying not to, jolt her out of bed this time. I've just messaged her once, so I'm just gonna see if that gently wakes her up.
Yep.
Last time she was mad.
Yes. But hopefully she'll be joining us soon, so we should have Diana and Jacob both here. Jacob, but not too much longer. It just depends on how much longer it takes him to wash the dishes.
Not long at all.
Oh, not long at all. There he is.
Oh.
Okay. So, speaking of that, let's just go ahead and that, and then I can fix his video feed here in a second. All right. So, where you guys left off. Last session, you had been traveling through the wilderness, and you had arrived eventually at a river. When you got to this river, all of you, had been on the road for a long period of time. You're pretty worn out, worn down, and you just needed a break. And so you decided, hey, it's time to go swimming and clean up. Well, as you did that, Oak, after jumping in and mostly in all of his clothes, and swimming around for a bit and getting somewhat cleaner than he normally is, happened to notice, standing on the far side of the river, on the embankment there, was about 4 or 5 silhouettes, all of which looked very familiar to Oak. Maybe not in their exact, personage, but definitely the way they carried themselves. And one of them in particular, Oak did recognize as Turon, a shifter from Oak's tribe, someone from from Oak's past. And standing along with Turon, like I said, was about 4 or 5 other silhouettes, all just kind of back a little bit in the trees, but clearly looking out upon you guys at the river's edge. That's where we left off. So, what do you want to do?
Well, Oak is a deer caught in the headlights. So he's not doing anything. He's staring and cowering, and he's just like, oh shit, oh fuck, what the fuck, I don't know. Like, if he had a tail, it would be in between his legs.
Oh god.
He's scared.
Okay.
Rogar, not knowing who these people are, would definitely keep his hand under the water, but, you know, since he is completely naked right now, I will, create my pack weapon in my hand. I'll summon in my long sword.
Okay.
Just, you know, just for...
Good measure.
Yeah, protection, since I have nothing else to protect me.
Okay. Yeah, you did doff all your armor, which took you a
You're a
good bit of
squishy
time.
boy.
Shoutouts to not needing it.
Armor class of 9 right now, but you know, no big deal.
9? How do you get a 9?
I have a -1 to dexterity.
Oh my lord. Oh.
Nice. This is gonna be fun.
So mage armor, anyone?
Give Jacob a few turns.
So.
I thought it would really help. You'd still be at a 12.
Yeah, better than a 9.
Better than 9.
Commoner's better than me right now.
Yes. So.
Oak always has an armor class of 14, so.
Well, yeah, I don't get to wear armor. Fucking bastards.
Hey man, I'm a wizard boy.
So as you stand there, Oak, kind of just petrified,
Mm-hmm.
the one you recognized as Turon steps forward, more into the light of the day, away from the trees.
Oak falls backwards. Like he lands on his ass. He's scared, shitless.
And Turon turns to the others and goes, "What do we have here, boys? It's the runt. Come back." They all...
And then Oak
Okay.
is gonna bolt. He's gonna run into the woods from the bank. He's just gonna run. He's terrified.
Oh boy. Where have we seen this before? Oh god.
Okay, so you bolt away from the river into the woods.
Yep.
And all of Jacob, Rogar, and Diana, everyone else who's there, would see a huge smile come across this fairly large, actually even a bit larger than Oak, man who is bare-chested, has on some very simple pants that are, kind of dirty and worn and maybe sewn up in places with patches, long hair going down to the middle of his back with several braids in it and beads, a very large beard on his face, and just rippling with muscles. And you see a huge smile across his face. And then he and all the ones with him all almost simultaneously lift their heads to the sky and they raise their weapons to the sky and dart off into the woods, some of them jumping down into the riverbank and going across the river fairly quickly. And they seem to be ignoring you guys for the most part, and just they take off. As you now see, it was actually a total of 6 individuals. There was Turan and then 5 others take off into the woods just as quickly as Oak did.
They're going in the same direction, Oak, right?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Okay.
Jacob still being on the bank. Just gonna look over to Rogar. Alright, we're doing this. And he's taking off after them.
Okay.
Rogar looks so confused.
You guys are the best friends. You're gonna fight someone naked for me.
Jacob's not naked. He never
Yeah,
got
but
out.
Rogar is, and that's dedication.
That's dedication.
Naked
true
dedication. Got it.
Do I have anything that can protect me?
He will throw. He'll throw.
I don't have
Grim.
time to get dressed. Oh.
Yeah.
Put on your pants.
I don't have time to put it on. I will bring my shield. Rogar
Bring the
will
shield.
dash out of the water, scoop his shield, and charge in. True Roman or Greek style. Fuck clothes.
Okay.
Not close.
Fuck clothes. I love it.
Well, at least I have a shield. 11.
Another T-shirt idea.
Yes, there you go. Fuck clothes.
Along the line with Green Boy, Best Boy.
Yes.
And Foxo Snoop Boop.
Yes, Foxo Snoop Peep. Oak,
Can't forget that one.
as you are running. Oh no, we won't forget that. As you are running through, you hear these calls, just like echoing up into the air behind you. You have just memories of the past start flooding your mind as you remember way back to the war party that you were in that went back after that owl bear, as all the warriors gave such calls, you included at that time. You know that they are now hunting you. And from the sound of things and the tactics that you know that they employ, they are using the terrain, which they obviously know this terrain very well, to their advantage, and are starting to circle around you and flank you.
When Oak realizes this, he's gonna find the tallest tree he can and just climb up it. Also, he's in his boxers right now, so
The poor boy.
Why
Oh,
are we
boy.
not
The only
ready for
clothed
this?
man.
We literally got with our pants down.
All right, so go ahead and give me a strength athletics check to see how quickly you climb.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
I mean, at least I have a +1 to survival.
Get my handy dandy
Notebook?
critical hit gaming supplies.
Yes, there you go.
Dice tray and dice bag ready to go.
17.
17.
I had to do math.
Okay.
Calculator because I added it.
No problem. So yeah, you actually find a tree and shoot up it very quickly, and it's a fairly tall tree. You would estimate that you are probably a good 30-40 feet in the air. By the time you can hear the calls getting very, very close, and then you hear them, and for a moment they seem to go past you, and then it stops. And and then you give me a perception check on this, because you're 30-40 feet in the air right now.
Oh no. 10.
Oh!
Uh-oh.
I'm so sorry.
I know.
Can flying boy catch up?
So you can kind of hear some arguing, a little bit of discussion. You can't tell exactly, but you finally hear, "I'm in charge. Listen to me." And then one of them goes, "Over here!" And you look down and you see all 6 of them are now at the base of the tree, and they are looking up. And there's Turon with a big grin on his face as he looks up and says, "I see you're hiding." The runt is scared. And they all start laughing pretty loud. Okay. What are you guys doing at this point in time? I know you said you were kind of chasing after them.
I had sent Hrim with his 60 flight
Yep.
base movement, dashing, following
Okay.
them.
Yep. He could easily keep up with them. He would have to try to kind of track them a little bit because of
That's
the
fine.
cover of the forest canopy. If he was, to fly above it to get a good view, sometimes they would be obscured. But he is able to find out, especially when Oak scrambles up this tree. He's able to see the movement and kind of hones in on it, sees Oak climb up quite a ways, and then notices, and you see, oh look, they're surrounding the base of this tree now. Okay, and what's your movement?
My movement is 30,
30?
going up to 60.
Okay. Same with you too, right, Rogar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep up with me.
40.
Okay.
Oak's
Roger,
is
grab
40.
on.
Say again, Oak?
Oak's speed is 40 feet.
Yeah.
So.
And so were these guys. They're
They're a little
they're
faster.
they're actually a little faster just because they are used to the terrain. So they've been practicing some nature parkour in this area.
Oh man!
Once we're kind of in a position for a moment, once Hrim is over there, he will turn back, see how close Rogar is to him.
Okay. You estimate that, this was probably a good 30 seconds of just flat out sprinting through the forest that Oak did, and before they finally, before Oak finally went up the tree and then they caught up. You would estimate, based on what Frim sees, you guys are probably 60, 70 feet away from them. You can both roll perception checks if you wish to see if you can kind of see them through the
blind
terrain
man.
and the trays. Well, yes, but you using Hrim, you can to get an idea.
An 11.
My goodness, I forgot to pull up the stats. Give me a second. 18.
18. Okay. Progar, you're not sure. You hear some noise ahead, but you're not sure exactly how far or exactly where it's coming from. Jacob, you can tell using Hrim that, yeah, if Hrim was like down on your shoulder, you might be able to kind of pick out where they are straight ahead of you. You can pick out, where they are in relation to you, but you could possibly see them through the trees if he was down by your level.
Alright.
But they seem to be mostly obscured by brush and tree stumps and trunks and stuff like that.
Jake's going to turn and wait for Rogar to get close to him.
Okay.
Okay.
While you're doing that, I need 2 more perception checks from you guys.
Gotcha.
One from each of you.
Using Hrim again, or me?
This is listening.
Uh-oh.
This is your ears. Uh-oh.
Oh, well then,
Looks like
that case,
we lost Oak for a second there.
we did 15.
Oh.
Okay.
I am a 13. I'm moving up in the chain.
Okay. And what'd you get, Jacob?
15.
Okay. You hear movement behind you.
Oh, here.
That seems to be
No.
getting closer.
Rogar!
I don't remember if it's yes, that's what we're going for right now. Oh, there we go. Getting closer. But yes, how can I help you?
We are, not in the best case scenario. We are getting chased, ourselves as well. Here, and if Rogar gets close enough to him, he's just gonna push his hand onto his chest.
Okay.
Okay. You are touching the chest.
Yes, and he is going to cast Mage Armor on him.
Okay. And are you still moving through the forest?
No, I have completely stopped to catch him up
Okay.
to me.
Both of you give me another set of perception checks.
Oh boy.
So that makes my armor class 14. There we go. I got an 18.
Okay. Mage armor, I believe, is only a 13,
13
plus your
plus your
dex,
dex.
so it'd be a
So
12.
if my
Yeah,
yeah,
12.
but does my shield bonus still affect?
Yep. So
If your
14.
shield's still on,
Yeah.
no, shield is a +5. Oh no, your actual.
Oh no, my
Your
actual shield.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I thought you were talking the shield spell. My bad.
Also got
So-
an 11.
Okay. As Jacob stops and kind of slaps you on the chest and casts a spell, you feel the energy course through you, and you hazard a glance over your shoulder as Jacob had said somebody's following us. And you see several more large men and women appearing out of the forest about
shit.
30 feet behind you. There's quite a few, and you can't really gauge the numbers right off the top of your head. But you see several more of them, and as you're there for a moment, they now come through and they are almost even with you.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh god. Let's see if I aim. And we're not sure how far we are away from Oak.
You're estimating about 60 feet, based on what Jacob saw through Grim's eyes.
As long as Grim can see him, it's fine.
Yep.
Could I could I scoop Jacob and run? Like take the dash action?
Hi, my computer hates me right now.
Oh, that's not good.
So, while that fixes itself, I'm on my phone right now. So.
Okay.
Oh, cool. I'll come back though.
Momentary phonage. Got it. Gotcha.
Fun,
Yep.
fun. So the things you've missed, Rogar now has mage armor on him.
Yeah. I'm
Oh,
buff.
good.
You'll make
We
it
are
buff.
being followed apparently,
Oh, good.
and how enough people that we can't really tell how many are now like equal in our journey towards where Oak is.
Oh, good.
Oh yeah, it's super fun.
You
We're doomed.
we
And this is why
They
Oak
are-
doesn't make friends, because they're all gonna die someday.
you said they're
His family.
30 feet behind us, or even well, this is
They're
120 range.
They're almost even with you now. They are maybe. I mean, you saw them as they were kind of coming through the brush, about 30 feet behind you, and then as you're standing there watching, within just a few seconds, they are now like 10, 15 feet away.
Yeah, no. I was gonna hypnotic pattern them, but it's concentration in only 1 minute, so we won't even. Oh, I mean, fuck it. I will turn around real quick. I will hold my hand aloft and I will cast the spell. I hope I hit them all. I will cast the spell Fear in front of me.
Okay.
It is a 30-foot cone.
Okay. All right.
Just
and
hoping I can hear them.
and the save on that.
It is a Wisdom DC 15.
Let's see, 30-foot
Yay.
cone, so that's going to be all right. And I'll make this easier. Do it like this. All right. So it looks like you managed to catch 7 of them in your cone. And out of that, it looks like 5 of them. All of a sudden, now this fear just instills the frightened condition, or is there anything else that it imposes on them? You guys there? Uh-oh, we may have a Discord malfunction. Let us attempt to see if we can fix that. Yep. Discord issues connecting, message, joining voice, etc. Uh-oh. We could have a Discord issue. That's not good. Okay, so, that being said, I'm going to attempt something else here. Right. Let's see. I may have to try to shut down Discord altogether and restart it and see if that fixes the issue. I apologize. Do-do-do. They are continuing to work on a fix for this issue. Lovely.
Hi.
Hello. So, yeah, apparently Discord is having major issues.
Yeah,
So,
I think we figured that out.
yep. So, I'm going to try to log us in this way. So far, you're the only one that has picked up on VC. But if you are able to connect to the other people somehow, like if you've got can message them somehow, then maybe tell them to get on VC.
What? You went really slow and then really fast, and I understood none of it.
It must have been breaking up. If you have a way to contact the others, other than Discord, then please try to let them know to try VC. Or we could just do it here.
Oh, wait, what?
Anyone? Does
Oh,
anyone
wait.
remember how to log into
He's
VC?
back
Oh
in the
wait,
Discord
no,
call?
Discord came back.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it did?
I just downloaded it.
Yep. Discord.
No, not for me.
Oh, look at it. It's like, you want to use your Logitech camera? And I'm like, yeah.
Well, I can see you on your phone on it. There we go. Okay. So, Discord came back. So, let's see if we can get this back going once again.
Yep. And
I-
I'm just gonna.
I again apologize for the issues there. Nothing I can do when Discord decides to drop out on us. It just happens.
Hey, there we are.
Hey, I see myself.
All right.
Oh, we got our final goal.
Okay. So, what did you guys last hear from me? Do you remember?
The fear spell, and then I read the fear spell.
Yes, I
hit
did not.
7 people.
Yep, you hit 7
I hit
people,
7.
and 5 of them seem to have been affected. I did not get what your read of the fear spell was, so.
Ah, yes. So, while frightened from the spell, they must move the safest available route on each of their turns. They must use the dash action.
The dash.
To move away from you. Okay.
Yes, and
I
then
will
once
be
they're
right
out of
back.
line of sight, they can make a wisdom save to see if they can break free.
Okay. All right. So
Well, that takes your 7.
you see as you turn around and
I'm
blast.
back.
There we go. And blast a fear spell in their direction.
Hold on, white
Where did
feather.
Bunny go?
Oh, wait a second. I don't have my component pouch on me.
So
Never mind. I
so
never
you-
cast a spell.
So you don't cast the fear spell. Okay.
Shoutouts to wizards always having their clothes.
Any of my spells. Okay, I can cast a few of my spells. All my spells that I need,
Cantrips?
though. Yeah, but my darkness is like my biggest thing.
Yeah, well,
I
you know.
can't cast it. I'm scared.
So
So,
as you hit them, 2 of them
Oh.
in this 30-foot cone continue advancing as they were. 5 of them, instead of running at you, they now split to the left and the right, depending on how close they were to you and which angle they were, and just run away.
Okay.
And the 2 that were kind of coming, that were in the cone, that are still coming, they kind of look towards the direction the others are running, and it almost seems like they shrug their shoulders like, what the hell? And they keep moving, and you notice that, alright, there's probably a good dozen others that were outside of the cone. And as the 2 that were in the cone that are not affected, and these others move up, they all move straight past you,
oh,
ignoring you completely.
Ah.
that is very interesting.
And they're booking. I mean, it's not like they're walking, they are booking. And shortly,
Oh, I'm scared.
within another 6 seconds or so, Oak, you now see more and more familiar type shapes
Oh no.
just starting to filter in around the base of this tree. And now you can actually roll a perception check for this, because again, you're fairly high up in the tree.
14.
See me.
14. Okay. You are able to make out the sound of a voice that is fairly large and booming, and it says, "What goes on here? We have an intruder. That runt." You
Oh.
mean Oak? Yes, I do. Come down, child. I promise these ones won't hurt you.
And then, surprisingly, Oak finds his voice, and he says, "They've tried to kill me before. I'm not taking any chances."
They know better. They were taught a lesson last time.
Yeah, sure they were.
If you won't come down, we'll bring you down. but I don't want it to come to that. By this time, Rogar and Jacob, if you have continued to move forward after they did,
Yeah.
you now kind of get to, it's not really a clearing, it's just there's a little more space between the trees, but the space is filled up with now a good, maybe 20 bodies kind of around this large tree, and you see all of them, men, women, all of them very well muscled. Most of them seem to have some kind of fur, just like light spatterings of it, as most all of the men are shirtless. Some of them do have some on. Yep. And they seem to have...
Great with them.
They seem to have, and all of the men seem to have like an excess of body hair here and there. And
we have a bard.
The bard has arrived. There we go.
Okay, so just a heads up, I'm still half asleep. All I got was a message going, "Dear God, please de-escalate."
What?
So I'm on my phone.
Okay.
You guys, I do have a +4 in persuasion. I mean a +7
I have
in
a
persuasion.
+8.
She beat me by 1.
She beat you.
I didn't take an ability score increase, or maybe I did. I don't remember.
So, what happened?
Oak is being chased by his tribe,
Go ahead
and he's scared, and he's up a tree, and they're talking to him, and he's terrified, and I'm scared.
Let me go get my dice.
The resigned. Let me get my dice.
Hold on.
I literally woke up. I am on my phone in my bed, guys. Like,
I'm sorry.
Computer.
I'm sorry that I woke you up.
My new character. I'm also a pretty good liar.
Gosh, you're such an awful person, Oak, waking her up and sending multiple
I know,
messages.
I feel like a
Who
terrible
would do such a
person.
thing? As I go back and delete some messages.
Wow. Don't worry, Diane. I did not reach out to you. I was perfectly fine. I was like, I got this. This is my time. I'm gonna pull through as a temporary bard.
Alright.
An auxiliary
So
bard.
while I look for my dice, someone catch me up.
Yeah, go
Wow, I
ahead.
sound like that.
We're,
Oh
we're
yeah,
just
the
going.
camera's on
Oh, wow. Who am I?
on Twitcher.
Oh,
Yes.
shit.
Well, that's because
And I'm half of Jacob.
don't worry.
I'm
Share.
still Jacob, though.
I am fixing it right now. It just takes a moment.
You're only half of Jacob.
There you go.
I want my dice.
I went the wrong way.
Pretty much, so what's happened is, Oak's up a tree. I'm naked with a shield and a sword. We're in front of the tribe. I'm assuming you're on my shoulder. That's why I threw you in my head. Since you're still a fox. You are still a fox. Yeah, you're a fox.
Am I?
Oh no,
Yeah.
Oak was talking to Diana. Oak was talking to Diana
Yeah,
when everyone appeared.
Yes, but I believe, if I remember right, she was in fox form and you were using
Yeah, 'cause she was
speak with
jumping on my
animals.
Yeah.
head. So yeah,
Yeah.
you're on my shoulder. There we go. You're there now.
You're on a naked man's shoulder.
You're on a naked man's shoulders. I have mage armor on since you're a significant other in my eyes. Places hand on my chest.
You're welcome.
What else? I cast fear on 5 of them.
I got a bunny for safety.
Oh.
A bunny for I don't know if that ever happened in game, but you know what? Out of game.
I have a snuggle bunny now, and
And then other than that,
Alright, Prim will land near Oak.
oh, you also won't have any clothes either. So welcome to the party. Me and Diana are naked.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we both chose to take off our clothes.
and
Yes.
Oak is in his boxers.
Yeah, so Jacob's the
Ugly
only
clothes.
one. Yeah, other than that, that's mostly it. We're all at the tree.
Since Rhea isn't here, honestly, all I can think of is just her character kind of like floating, like T-posing, like just like the character model, and she's just clipping through the trees. Like she's
Rhea's
not there.
afraid.
she's there, but
My
she's
arm.
not.
Like, I can't leave anyone. I grabbed everyone. The horses are on my back. I got everyone I can. I'm joking. I can't carry horses.
No, you can't. Okay.
Calder might have,
Probably should.
but not me. I only have a strength of 15.
So, what you three see is all of these people. Like I said, some of these men, a majority of them are shirtless. They're extra hairy. Most of them have long hair. A few of them, their hair is short. Just like 2 or 3 of them. And the women in this group also seem to be very well muscled, very athletic. All of them, or for the most part, all of these people are fairly tall and just beefy people. And the women also have, all the ones that you see, I think there's like 4 of them in their group, all have long hair as well, several different braids. Most of these here have long hair, braids, decorations in their hair, and they look very imposing. And one of them stands almost head and shoulders above the rest. And he is the one that you notice. He was like, "Come down. We don't want to have to bring you down."
Oh. Oak will go down, but he won't get off of the tree. He'll go to the lowest branch.
Okay. So you are now about 15 feet in the air for the lowest branch, the lowest, decent sized branch on this tree. And you can now get a very clear look.
Hey.
The one speaking, that very, very large man, that's your father.
Papa?
Oak doesn't know his father.
Okay. That man looks a lot like you, let's say. Just even bigger.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I guess. Okay, but like.
I love that immediate isn't supposed to be a thing, but it was supposed to be.
Yeah. Oak's mom had a one-night stand with some dude who was outside of the tribe.
Oh,
so that's
okay.
not.
I didn't see that in the backstory.
It wasn't in the backstory. I don't know. I thought I mentioned it somewhere.
Nope.
And I expect everyone.
Not to me.
I expect everyone to have a perfect memory about all of my stories, so I never mentioned anything again.
Well, if
Just love the your father.
well, if it had been in the backstory, then I definitely would have remembered.
Yeah.
But
I should have.
yeah, it's okay. But
So it's not my dad.
no, it's not your dad. But you do recognize him. This is the chieftain that
There you go.
when you left the tribe, this is the same man. He looks a bit older, a bit grayer, longer in the tooth, so to speak. But it is still him.
So I have a question. While they're all dealing with this, is it at all capable for Diana to be like slowly changing back into her clothes behind everyone?
I didn't grab any clothes.
If you want to try,
Yeah.
you'd
She
have
doesn't
to,
have her clothing.
No, remember I asked you about your form. You were like, "Oh no, at this point, you're completely all your stuff fell to the
she would
floor."
have her clothes.
How far away is that? How far did we travel again? You said 60 seconds.
No, it was a total of about 30 seconds of travel, but this is double movement, the whole time, and it was like Oak speed, so you're looking at like a good 500 feet.
You're not gonna make it back in time.
Diana wouldn't have even attempted that.
Well, you're a fox. Oak was like,
No,
oh,
like
you can blame Jacob.
Jacob up a
Jacob
tree.
ran.
She would have just walked at that point.
Okay. So you would have hopped.
Because-
You would have hopped off Rogar's shoulder then, and then.
Went to grab my shit, and as I'm going after Oak, was gun dressed.
Okay, so then in that case, we'll say that's what you did, since you weren't here to say otherwise originally. But that means you are not quite there yet.
That's fine.
You're still heading that direction.
Hopefully you don't get lost.
Besides, don't give me a second to find my fucking dice.
So I have a quick question about divine sense.
Yes.
Because, it says, like, I can sense, all that's, but then, so pretty much it says the presence of strong evil registers on your senses like a noxious odor or powerful good rings like heavenly music in your ears. But then as an action, I can open my awareness.
Well, what it actually is there's a lot of discussion on this spell, and what it is you can use divine sense to find the presence of, I believe it's celestial, fiend, or undead.
Yeah.
You don't actually sense good or evil. What you're sensing, well, you are sensing good and evil, so to speak, but only like things that are at their core. That's what they are, not the actions that they choose to do. Like a celestial, at its core, it is a being of good. Period. A fiend, it is a being of evil. Period. Okay? Undead, they are, created through pure evil.
Okay.
To create them. Whereas a person can choose to be either good or evil. They are neither at their core. So you could sense those creatures. You cannot necessarily sense the alignment, so to speak, like in previous editions of D&D.
Okay.
It's not quite the same. All right. So, Oak, you see the chieftain there.
Mm-hmm.
You also now have a much, closer view of Turon, and you also see Ursul, his, his buddy, standing right next to him. And Turon looks like he's got some battle scars that you don't necessarily remember from the last time you saw him. And in fact, you know what? Go ahead and, because this is your tribe and you know their ways, I want you to roll a intelligence check with advantage.
Ooh.
Oh, good advantage! It's not gonna make a difference because it's a -1.
It
It's
will
still
make
good.
a difference.
Cool. 16. Okay.
16.
You know what?
You notice that as he's talking to the chieftain, and the chieftain's talking to him, he's kind of got his back turned to you, and you notice a series of marks on him, on his left shoulder, that you know to be punishment for something he has done.
So where we are... Oh, go ahead.
Oak is still, like, on the tree, and he's on the lowest branch, but he's slowly inching his way down towards the forest floor, the ground, whatever it's called. And, but, like, he's, like, hugging the tree like a cat would. Like his claws are sunken into the bark, and you'd have to, like, pry him off if you wanted to get him away from that tree.
Okay. And now, I mean, you're down there right where everyone is now. You guys see this at about the same time. Diana, you are finally you're in sight of this mass of people. including you can see Jacob and Rogar kind of just near the outside edge of them. And you're probably
Sorry,
about 30 feet away. No problem. No problem. But Jacob, Rogar, what do you guys want to do now? I'll go one at a time to make it easy. Jacob, what is your thoughts on what are you going to do right now?
Jacob has never been a big person on authority. He's going to make his way towards Oak.
Okay, so you're going to try to kind of push through the crowd?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No!
No, I got this. I got it.
Okay, and
Found him.
Rogar, what are you going to do?
I
Yay!
will assist. I will assist Jacob, and I will. Like, excuse me, blind man coming. Cripple,
Blind man coming
cripple,
through
excuse
as
me,
he's
excuse me,
making-
cripple. And sorry he bumped into you. I'm so sorry.
Oh
I'll try to
Wait.
fix the bonds that he's destroying.
Roll persuasion.
Okay.
Does he have a good actually?
Ooh, a 19 on the die plus 7.
Okay. Okay. So, Diana, as you are about 30 feet away right now, you see Rogar and Jacob kind of pushing their way through the crowd a little bit. And Rogar's, like, oh, excuse me, pardon me, didn't mean to bump
Nothing
you.
to see here.
Yeah. And these people, which you clearly recognize as shifters, are kind of looking down at them because they're all, a bit taller. And they're looking kind of down at them. They're not stopping them. And they're not really moving out of the way either, but they're just like, got the what the fuck kind of expressions on their face. Like, who are, what's up with these outsiders? Why are they coming and interfering? It's that kind of look on their face.
Jacob.
All right.
Who are these dipshits?
Yeah.
So, Diana's seeing that she's kind of just gonna follow behind them to get close to Oak.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Join
just
in
be
the
like-
party.
Yeah, and just be like, what is going on?
Okay. As you kind of move up there, kind of run up just a little bit to catch up to them and follow in their wake as they kind of weave through the crowd a little bit. All three of you kind of get to where the center area of it is. Where this tree is that Oak is now at the base of, but still kind of clinging to with his claws.
Ready to jump back up.
Yep. And there are 3 people standing within about 6 feet, 7 feet or so of the tree and Oak. One of them is very, very large, with lots and lots of braids and decoration in his very long hair, which has quite a bit of gray in it. The other 2 are also quite large, but not as large as this one man. And they're trying to argue with him, and he said, he looks at them, and Oak, you're right there. All of you can hear this from how far away you are. And as he says, until I am no longer the chief, my decisions stand. This one will not be slain outright, but will be afforded a chance.
Uh-oh.
Step back, Turon, now. And this
Oak is
low,
hyperventilating.
and this low growl comes out of him that sounds almost like a huge grizzly bear.
Oh, hell yeah.
Very sexy.
You not that kind of bear. Not that kind of bear.
Oh no.
Of course. Power.
Yep.
Very
But can Diana get to the branch under Oak and
Well,
just kind
Oak's-
of look
Well,
out?
no, he's on the ground now. He's
Oak's
just
on the
clutching
ground.
the
Oh, is he?
Yep.
Okay, then can she get next to him and just be like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, you can
He's
kind of
hyperventilating.
move around, kind of just move around them a little bit, like kind of slip past them without getting too close, and get to Oak.
I would
And
too.
she's just gonna like gently grab his arm near his hand and be like, "Are you all right?"
He's hyperventilating, and as soon as you touch him, he jerks back. He's just like, "Don't know." Like he's stepping away from you guys.
Oh,
She's
The
just gonna
not the
automatically
best.
assume it's all of the people who's around them. So she's just gonna kind of like glare at the others.
Oh my god.
Not like a "I want to hit you" glare, but more like "I clearly don't like you" kind of a look.
okay.
Jacob.
Like you guys
is
are being
going-
mean to my friend. Look.
Oh, yeah.
Jacob will stand in front of the child behind him
He is a baby.
and is just going to stand there. I'm sorry, pardon my outside knowledge, sir.
The chieftain turns
Oh yeah.
and looks down at you. What is this? As he is looking at you, Oak, and pointing at Jacob.
Oak rushes forward and like pushes Jacob back to like protect them. He's like, that those are my friends. They are my friends. Don't hurt them.
Rogar blushes a little. I'm joking. A friend?
That
Tur-
one is naked, but he is my friend.
Oh, yeah.
Tur-
I have my shield in
Turon,
front of myself.
Turon immediately pipes up. It says, Chief, but look, bringing outsiders and disregarding our traditions, not even a member of the tribe, and look at that, as he points at your long hair.
No. But compared to theirs, it's pretty short.
Yes, but it's still not apprentice length, which you know.
Once long hair.
Once again, the chief turns away from Jacob, and I need all of you to make a wisdom save.
I was gonna ask.
You know-
I don't know anything about fucking.
Let's do it. I could fight this.
I might be able to fight it as well. Please die.
14.
Okay.
Oh.
16.
Yeah. 23.
22.
What was that, Diana? I didn't hear yours.
It's my roll and then plus my saving modifier, right?
No, what was the number? I didn't hear it.
I rolled a 20.
Oh, okay.
So I
Um,
get a 22, right? Because I have a +2 on my saving throws for wisdom.
Okay, so all of you, as the chief turned away from Jacob, you see his entire head in like almost a split second shift into that of a grizzly as he growls and snaps mere inches away from Turon's face. You feel this just combination of fear and revulsion kind of grab you, and you're like, oh my god, and you just kind of manage to shake it off and like, oh. But Turon takes a step back, and you have never seen Turon scared before, as far as you can remember in your past. He is showing a lot of fear right now, as is his buddy Ursal.
Hey, he's getting
And
fast.
they both step back into and meld with the rest of the tribe that's around. And the chief's head shifts back, and he turns back towards you guys and says, "You are from our tribe, young one. So you get a chance.
God?
You will come with us tonight. All of you."
Oh.
Oh, thank you. I will bow.
Diana's just like, Is no one else going to question the fact that we're literally being quote-unquote kidnapped by a pack of shifters? Am I the only one perplexed by this?
No, I have a lot of doubt since I am butt-ass naked.
Oh yeah, speaking of that, and he's gonna form like a loincloth of sorts.
Thanks for finally creating something for me to cover myself. Not my shield.
She's gonna turn to Oak and just, as nicely as she can to try and help with the hyperventilating, just go, "Do you even want to go?"
I think I have to.
No, that is not what I'm asking, Oak. Do you want to?
On a side note, I don't know anything about Diana's people. Do I know anything about Oak's people? I mean, I'll roll for it.
No, hold on. Go ahead with what you were going to say, Oak. We'll get to you there, Rogar, in a second.
Actually, I need to think of what I'm gonna say, so you can go ahead.
Okay.
With him.
Okay.
I was using this time to formulate something.
Thank you.
I will say that there's no need for a roll. However, what it is the only thing you really know is that there are tribes of shifters that occasionally, they keep themselves separate from society. They typically just they live in a more tribal type way, and they will roam in the wilderness. Sometimes there's inter tribal conflicts between different tribes, but for the most part, they all kind of have their own roaming patterns. Oak, I am actually gonna, while you're still thinking, I'm gonna actually have you distract you from that by having you roll another intelligence check with advantage, because this is dealing with your tribe.
13.
Nice.
13 is enough for this. You kind of realize something in the moment. You realize that, I have seen this area before, but it wasn't with the tribe. This is further north than I ever went with the tribe before. We'd never go this far north. Why are they
They're
here?
outside the territory.
They're
outside the territory.
I only recognize this place because I came through here when I left.
Ooh.
So this is something different. You don't recognize, you don't know why they would be here.
And Oak is gonna look at Diana and he's gonna say, "Diana, I have to go."
She's not gonna like that answer, but she's gonna understand, only because she doesn't like them. And she's gonna turn to look at the rest of the tribe, and mainly the one in charge, and just calmly, despite her own annoyance, ask him, why is it now you're asking for Oak to go with you when everything we've been told is the opposite?
He looks at you for a second, and you notice him take a good long look at your ears and your tail and just your general appearance, and he goes, "You are not of our tribe, but you are of the people. So I will answer. But that will be tonight. We must travel now."
Can we grab our stuff?
Yes, please. Oak, convince him let me get my armor.
Because some of us would like to get dressed.
Yes.
Where is your stuff?
The river.
Just by the river. We'll be back in a bit.
We are heading that way.
Oh, great. We can
Okay.
move there.
Traveling companions.
And like Oak is trying to make himself very small.
Okay.
Like he's hunched over. He's got his arms across his stomach, and he's just.
Meanwhile, Diana's the one in like protective mom mode, just hovering around Oak. Like, I will punch you if you try it.
I almost want to cast heroism on Oak. I know it'd be a waste of a spell slot, but
Oh, it would.
you just need a little bit of confidence there, buddy.
So,
Plus it counts though.
Diana is in protective mode.
I am in I don't know mode. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
so do you go along with them as they head towards the river?
Yes,
Okay.
Yep.
but Oak waits until they've all moved towards the river to move. He stays behind them.
Okay.
I will follow suit.
I will walk in front of.
I
the
guess
group.
Diana would be staying between the tribe and Oak to try and act as a barrier between them.
Okay.
I will if we have to be in, I will be behind Oak since I see that in this
That's right. We're doing the
tribal
triangle
thing.
formation.
Well, I see in the tribal situation that Oak is closer to his people, so I should respect that. That's what I was
Diana,
going for.
nah, fuck you.
So I would in Rogar's head, he's above Oak, or no, Oak's above him, and like if it fell down to rain, so he's like, let me be behind him.
And Oak is below
naked.
everyone else.
Yeah, plus I'm naked, so I mean I have a loincloth now.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
So it takes you.
why Oak stayed in his boxers.
It takes you, since you aren't running and double moving, it takes you about almost 2 minutes to walk from where you were back to the banks of the river to your stuff, and then they all kind of, wait there, arms crossed, as you collect your things. Put some clothes on.
Oak is gonna turn to Diana, and he's gonna say, "Diana, I need you to cut my hair."
And she's gonna like have this look of what the fuck on her face for half a second, because that was the most random thing she's heard come out of Oak's mouth. And just look at him and go, now?
Yes, I can't have long hair.
Why?
I'm not a full member of the tribe.
And hearing that, and like, she knows the leader's probably gonna hear her. But she's gonna look at Oak and just go, Oak, for the longest I've known you, you've always told me you weren't with them anymore because they casted you out. So quite frankly, excuse
You
my
didn't cast me out. I ran.
Oak, you... Just because they have a specific tradition for your hair doesn't mean you have to have that with us. If you still want your hair cut by the end of all of this, fine, but at least talk to them first before you do it.
Oak is gonna go to Jacob, and he's gonna say, "Jacob, I need you to cut my hair."
I was gonna talk to Jacob.
All right.
And Diana's gonna be like, Jacob, no.
Hold on.
I need some help.
Oh, look at me.
My armor.
Do you say that out loud, Rogar?
Yeah, because I was gonna ask Jacob to help me put on my armor since it'll take me 10 minutes, so I might as well cut the time in half. But I mean, if we have time for a haircut, then I have more than enough time to put on armor.
The chief looks over to someone, looks over to one of his other tribe members, and just kind of nods. We don't have time. We don't have time. Help.
Oh no!
And one of the tribe members then walks over, kind of resigned look on their face, like, great, babysitting duty, and walks over and picks up your armor and looks at you and says, "How do you need help? Come on, let's do this."
Just the latches back, sir. I'm so sorry about this inconvenience that I'm causing you.
So he's like, "Whatever, let's just do this."
Diana's gonna turn to the chieftain, and she's still keeping the calmness, but she's like slowly getting slightly annoyed. But she's just gonna look at him and go, "Mind me asking why Oak needs to suddenly cut his hair?"
He is not a full member of the tribe.
But he is with us.
He
He
our
grew his
people
hair out among
first.
us, not among you.
He is our people, first and foremost.
Jacob's going to turn to Oak. Going to look him dead in the eye as best as he can with an owl on his shoulder. Yeah, laugh it up, okay? It's fine. Laugh at the blind man.
Dead in the eye, and I can't. It's the blind man, you know?
Yeah, Rim looking at Jacob like,
That's why I said just never
Problem.
No, but all I can imagine is Jacob turning fully towards Oak with, like, his eyes directly staring at Oak, you know, with Harim, but, like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oak, do you want to do this because you want to do it?
I need to cut my hair.
It's not a need. I need to know. Honestly.
Oak is gonna take a dagger and he's just gonna start chopping stuff off.
oh, I would have cut your hair, damn.
No, I'm going to do it regardless. Is this something you want?
The dagger is like right here. He's like, well then do it, dude.
Just answer me that first. Is this a want? Or is this something that they're making?
I'm not a full member of the tribe.
Got it.
I need you to cut my hair.
Alright. Walk in front of me.
Okay.
And he's
Oak,
going to pull out his dagger.
haircut time.
And he's going to slowly and surely.
All
Take off the
anybody
hair.
hears from Diana in Sylvan, because at this point she's fucking fed up. This is such a lot of fucking bullshit. And it's in Sylvan, but it's clearly annoyed.
I see Diana speaking in Sylvan. I'm just gonna speak in Celestial. I'm just gonna say words. I don't know what we're doing
You're
here.
saying like pancake, pineapple,
Yeah.
coconut.
No, like she's
Like, I
giving
don't know
it
what she's
enough.
doing.
She's essentially just ranting in Sylvan at this point. Just bitching about the situation because
The one time I
they don't know Sylvan as far as she's concerned.
Yeah.
Jacob is just gonna slightly respond, I know. It's not fun.
Wow. Do you all share one language?
And like by the end of it, she's just like kind of breathing heavily. Her eyes are like amber instead of her normal blue. And she's like trying so hard not to growl, essentially. Because she's reaching a point of, I just want to hit him, but I can't, and Oak won't let me, and this isn't fair, and I don't understand why we have to cut his hair, and I don't know why any of this is happening. Quite frankly, he's a fucking asshole! And she's just gonna gesture to the chief when she says that in Sylvan.
Could I mage hand, just pet Diana? I did it with you as a fox.
Start petting her, like, if you start petting her head or rub her ears, she will, like, slowly simmer down.
I don't know your character. I just know that when you were a fox, I was like, I'll just mage hand pet her, so I'm just gonna mage hand pet you. It's like, it's okay.
And like, she's just taking slow, but, like, deep but fast breaths, because she's fed up at this point, and she's gonna be like,
Yes. Every shifter's one weakness, head pats.
While they're doing that, Jacob is going to kind of, as he's walking with Oak, cutting the hair. Oak, I know what it's like to not necessarily like where you're from, judging how scared you are right now. all I can really say is we are here and going to remain here. Worst comes to worst, I can just teleport most of us away.
Thank you, Jacob.
Right. Now hold
And
still.
Diane-
The last bit of hair.
You scalp him.
Oh god!
I was just gonna pipe up and go, I can still make ice cubes! I can make you with popsicles!
She's really good
I
at
don't
it.
know what's going on. I'm just wandering with these people.
So, have you finished your preps and gathered your things?
Mhm.
Okay. So the tribe ends up leading you through the forest, and you walk and walk and walk for a good 2 hours
God.
until you finally come upon a clearing, and as the tribe moves into the clearing and kind of all starts to spread out to various areas of it, you all see what look like fairly light but sturdy, well-constructed tents made out of hides and thin timbers, things that can be easily transported and rolled up. Think similar to Native American teepees and stuff like that, but slightly different design. They're not actual teepees. But they are able to obviously pack these things up and transport them fairly easily as they move about. However, Oak, you would notice that there seems to be stuff like growing around some of these thin timber posts. Like, this stuff has been sitting here for a while, long enough for plant life to start like creeping along it. Like, not a lot, but some. This is another thing that is unusual for your tribe. And as you
Can Diana pick up on his confusion?
with your insight, sure. I would say, actually, go ahead and roll for it. You do have advantage and everything on your insight. So go ahead and roll for it.
Alright, give me a second. Because I gotta roll it twice. Give me a second.
Oak is gonna go up to the chief very timidly and very much.
19 plus 5. 24?
Yeah. Oak's a little confused. Okay. Oak, go ahead. You're going up to the chief timidly.
Yes, very timidly and like submissively and just like, hi, I'm small and I'm not gonna challenge you. He's gonna ask him, where's my mom?
Chief looks at you and says, that tent over there. You look.
I'm gonna.
You look and you see him. He's pointing at probably on a farther side of the clearing, a little bit separated from the rest of the tents, almost as if it's being isolated. Maybe on purpose, maybe not. Who knows? But it's just kind of set back from the rest of the tents, and it seems like there may be some, a fire going inside as you see some smoke coming out of a hole in the top of it that is designed for such. So someone may be in there.
And
you don't know.
Oak will turn back to the chief and says, thank you. And he's gonna go over to that tent and he's gonna go see if his mom is home.
Okay.
Diana's just gonna look at the chief and just be like, and she wants to say something really badly. She's not going to, but like she wants to. So she's just kind of like staring at him with this look of, I don't know if I should say it or not. So she's just kind of like watching the chief for a few moments to see what's going on, to try and figure out what's on his mind.
All right. Well, you're watching him, and as after Oak had come and talked to him, he grabbed a couple others from the tribe, waved them over, and spoke to them. And you could, since you were close enough, and if the rest of you, are you there kind of up where Diana is as well?
Yeah.
Or? Okay. So you would all hear him say, "Find accommodations for these guests for the night." And then he walks off. He walks off towards the largest of the tents, and these three other shifters, two of them female, one male, again from the same kind of hunting party that you were with before, approach and say, we will find some place for you to rest and put your stuff this way."
Are the two males the ones that were trying to be like
No,
goading for Oak to be killed?
and it was two females and one male.
Okay.
Okay, can Diana try to look for the two that were like gung ho to just attack Oak?
No, we're gonna fight him.
Roll perception.
Da, 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 da.
Can I give Tatsuga a disadvantage?
17 plus 5.
Oh.
You know that when you came into the clearing area, that those two did head off towards the right somewhere in the tents in that direction. You didn't see exactly which ones they went into, if they went into the same or went into different, but they went off somewhere towards the right in some of the tents over there. And you can see, I mean, this is a fairly large group. There were probably about 20 in that raiding party, and judging by the number of tents you guys can see around, and Jacob, you would be able to kind of tally some general figures in your head and estimate, and you'd come around to this tribe is probably somewhere in the 50 to 60 plus numbers of members in this tribe.
7. Oh.
She's gonna look at Jacob and go, send him with Oak. Just have him sit on the outside of the tent. Make sure the two from before don't go near it.
That's a smart.
That was the plan. I was actually going to say that one of us, actually stand there, but yeah, Red could work.
No,
I wouldn't say it.
against my better judgment, gonna go talk to the chief.
Oh! Are you...
Well, I guess you'd be the better one to
You
talk out of
two
any of
are.
us.
Oh, oh man, I lost his voice again.
You two, if need be, go find Oak, but I'm gonna go talk to the chief.
Right, well, friend, you know what to do.
I know.
He's just gonna
We know where Oak is.
fly over to where Oak went to, and is just gonna kind of chill.
Okay. So going back to you, Oak, as you walk over there, do you just open the flap and look in, or?
Well, he's gonna call out and he's gonna say, "Mom, are you there?" And then he'll peek in.
Okay. As you say that and you kind of pull the flap aside, you hear, "My boy, is that you?" As you hear this almost bawling voice, you can hear it breaking as you see your mother come from around kind of one of the corners in this tent and look, and there her face is mere 2 feet from yours, and as she looks at you, tears instantly start streaming down her face, and before you can do anything, she practically leaps at you and snatches you, pulling you into the tent and embracing you.
Oh, Cugs are back. He's happy to see her.
And she just keeps saying over and over and over, my son, oh, my oak. Oh. The tears are just coming down. Oh, oh, oh. So she's having a hard time with this. And you can't tell if this is happy tears, sad tears, whatever, because it's almost, there's no other words that she's saying other than like my son, my boy, my dear oak, and her voice is breaking the whole time. So it's a confusing mass of emotion just slamming into you as she just grips you, as tight as she can.
Oak is kind of in shock, so he's not really crying or really expressing much emotion right now, so he's just kind of like, he's just like dumbfounded that his mom is crying over him. And he's just gonna hug her back, and he's gonna be, and then like after she's had a moment, like had her time to cry and stuff, he's gonna like look at her. He's gonna be like, "I'm not sorry that I left. I had to. But what happened while I was gone?"
And she wipes her eyes and sniffles and just like, and then you can see as she kind of steps back from you, as she still has some tears coming down, but just this ear to ear grin on her face. I mean, you can't hide the smile that is beaming out of her face. And she's like, "Well, just here, sit." And the whole time, she sits right next to you, and the whole time she just can't keep her hands to herself. She just has to just keep touching you, your face, your hair, your shoulder. She just, it's like she's trying to make sure that you really are real and not going to disappear. And
I'm not a ghost.
Yeah. You're not
actually, Oak will just take her hand and just hold it. It's like, I'm here.
And she starts to tell how that after you left, that the tribe was kind of went through some hard times. Not immediately, but they did not have as much luck with hunting for a little while. Things seemed to actually get pretty lean for them. And actually, Red Fern had and your mother spoke often, as Red Fern was probably the only, which you remember, the only other person who really truly was nice to you. And your mother and Red Fern were, as close of friends as anyone is to your mother, based on what happened in her past. But they spoke often, and Redfern said, "This is because..." Oh, looks like we lost our Rogar for a second there. I hope this is not a Discord messing up again. But she says Redfern told her that this famine was a result of a great loss to the tribe. She couldn't pinpoint what it was, but your mom always believed it was because you weren't there. And Redfern said, I cannot say that, but something has happened. And as that, began to have its toll on the tribe, where the, more, not so much feast but famine, when it came to the hunting situation, things got a little strained between the members of the tribe. Well, Chief Great Bear has maintained control to this point. He is getting very old, and his control is tenuous, especially after the passing of Red Fern, who was one of his main
not Red
supporters.
Not
Yes.
Redford.
And the
I've taken my
The new-
angry cat away.
the new the new shaman is very much a poison, in my opinion. And she says, I just do not like that thunder.
Oak gasps. He's just like, is this the same thunder I almost killed when I was 2?
Your mother kind of thinks back.
You know,
Yes.
dead eye, dead hand.
Yes, that he, as you know, he was never completed warrior training because of the incident.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He took another
yeah.
path.
I wish it was into like painting or something, not this way.
No, he took another path. If I can find that. Hold on, where is that? There we go. Okay. Alright, yeah, so the cameras got screwed up again. So. Alright. So, let's see, I can fix that right there. Alright. So, that was kind of some of the things that happened, and then, well, recently, and because with Thunder's whisperings into the chief's ear, it was decided that we should leave our normal lands because an evil had started to seep into them, and actually not very far from here, but this, according to our new shaman, is outside of the danger, as the danger is focused more towards the direction of our normal hunting grounds. Thus, we have been here for 4 winters now?
4 winters.
Yes.
That's insane.
Yes. It is a different way of life for us. Not one I agree with much, but no one listens to me anyway.
Please tell me at least some people follow the old ways. Still, they're not.
There are those of us
incorrect.
there are those of us that do, but this is just something that has come to be, and I cannot speak out because,
Yeah.
well, you know the ways of the tribe. I
Yeah.
do not have the power to, but Thunder has the ear of the chief, and I do not know what strange power he holds over him, but the chief actually listens, and maybe it is due to his old age and just not being able to, I don't know, see through the madness that is, these strange ideas that Thunder implants in his head. But this is what it is, and I mean, we have survived. Not well, but we have survived. I just hate to think what will happen. I think things are soon to change Turon's health,
Why?
although he doesn't look it, is failing him.
Wait, whose health?
Sorry, Great Bear's.
Great Bears.
The chieftain's health.
Hey,
Uh,
who's the deputy? Who's next in line?
Turon.
And Oak goes silent and scared, and he's just like, okay. I have something to do now. He cracks his neck,
Oh goodness.
cracks his knuckles. He's like, Mom, I love you. I need to go pick a fight with someone. And he's gonna march out of the door, or the tent.
Okay. Now, while
And
that
he's gonna
dis-
fall face first because he hasn't been breathing for the past 2 minutes.
Okay. Well, that whole discussion, as she kind of recounted everything, probably took a good 20 minutes between, her just fawning over you initially, and then finally sitting down and just kind of filling you in. And while that's going on, Prim is guarding the perimeter of, or the entryway to the tent. What? Yep.
Just a little owl hopping back and forth on the ground.
Well, now we need our armor.
Yes.
Or the little knight in shining armor.
Yes. Now, so speaking of Rim, what are you doing during that 20 minutes of time, Jacob?
Assuming Jacob could hear, if he is paying attention through Grim, for at least the first bit, just to make sure Oak is safe,
Mm-hmm.
and hearing the coddling from Oak's mom, he is going to, assuming he's still standing there with Rogar, as far as I know, has started to walk towards the chieftain.
Okay. Well, you were directed by the two females and the one male. They kind of directed you guys towards some other tents that they said, you can use these. They've been unoccupied for a little while.
All right. Yeah.
Why? Because you killed them?
Yeah.
Did you kill the occupants?
Who knows? But he's just gonna have a faint smile on his face, and he's gonna go into one of the tents, and he can't do much else. He's gonna leave Frim's eyes and just go back to just hearing.
Okay.
Hearing out of his own ears, because if he's in the eyes of Frim, he's also in the ears of Frim. Or
Okay.
anything except for back. So he'll come back and just, alright, Oak seems to be alright. I'm just gonna let him enjoy his time with his
Okay. So, Rogar,
Yeah.
what were you gonna do?
I guess at this time, I would just, I'd just be watching Jacob. I mean, this is our one-on-one time. I would think back to the tablet, or the tablet that he was looking at earlier with the celestial writing on it.
Okay.
But to my better
Well, it's not celestial writing.
oh, it wasn't celestial writing.
No. The book that Jacob has, that had some celestial writing on the cover.
Oh.
Oh, right.
The tablet, you don't know what the hell that is.
Okay, so yeah, I would, Rover doesn't know what the hell's going on. He doesn't know this group that well, so he'll look to Jacob and be like, I saw your book had celestial writing in it. Do you speak celestial?
What? Oh, sorry. Was in my own thoughts for a moment. They're talking, and he's going to reach out because I don't think he actually got the book.
No, you got that book. This was the one from the Redstone Library that you took back when you did the scouting mission. The one that says the language of the ancients. Yeah, you took that.
Probably. Oh, right. This, and he's gonna rummage it and like pull out and knock some of the dust and other things as they've been traveling in the woods for a bit.
That's right. You weren't here when for the last session, since you were kind of in stasis. I should have told you to watch the VOD so you could kind of catch up. But during some of your trip so far, your traveling, Jacob has spent some time studying that book, as well as, kind of discussing information from the book and the tablet back and forth with Diana, trying to figure out, okay, what the hell does this mean? What's your take on this? So you have looked at it a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, what did the tablet say again? That the few things that he actually managed to decipher.
Okay, let me try to remember. What was the path you seek, and piece of death.
Nice.
That's something you're able to figure out on the tablet. You still haven't figured. I mean, that's like they're like part way in some kind of part of a sentence. You're not sure what part of a sentence it is, but it's kind of in there somewhere. So you're like,
So it's a very interesting book so far. It seems to be pointing in directions end up helping, but the problem is I can't necessarily read much of it. I can decipher it. I've been doing a bit of deciphering to try to understand a little bit of the tablets as well, and haven't gotten super far with it.
Ah, yeah. I forgot what book I read last time. I'm become a better note taker eventually. I'll recite what I read off the cover.
What
Celestial.
What you read off the cover is just as you remember too, like on the cover, Jacob, there was in common, it said the language of the ancients, but there was also like in Elven and Dwarven and several others. And it's in Celestial, it's just basically another variation of that same kind of title, but
Okay.
the word structure is a little different.
Okay. Yeah, I'll explain that to Jacob and offer some of my guidance in the Celestial language.
Okay. And when you do look in the book, it looks like it is written in like there's about 7 or 8 languages on the cover. And it looks like it is written in all of those, as well as the symbols from the tablet. And it's, occasionally the symbols, but it, as you're reading through it and have been reading through it, it's not like a direct, like, hey, here's these symbols, this is the translation. It is more of a kind of a study on whatever this language is and like a history of what they've discovered so far. And it's not super complete, as far as a primer for trying to figure out the language, but there is enough there. But it'll have like, a paragraph that'll be in common, and then, let's say, what other languages you speak. You speak Elven, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like in Elven, right underneath it is basically the same thing in Elven, a paragraph that covers it. And then Dwarven, and then, Sylvan, and then Celestial, and so those.
It's like gonna be like 10 pages of just one translation, and then another 10 pages of another
Yes,
paragraph.
yes, and it's a thick book, so it would probably be about like that big if it was all one language, but it is like 7 or 8 different languages, so it's like that. It's a tome. It's freaking huge, but it's
An
a lot of repeating.
encyclopedia.
Basically, and the nice thing about it though is because you understand different languages, and Rogar, since you understand Celestial, if Jacob doesn't understand Celestial, these other languages that you speak, if they are one of the languages that are in the book, each language, the translation can actually give you different insight because of how the languages work. So you might be able to figure out, hey, this is talking about these symbols here, and trying to, understand them in this language, and they use these words. But then in this language, they use a different way of describing it because of how the words and the sentence structure are formed, and it might actually, comparing those, give you some better contrast and understanding.
Nice. Cool. It would be great if he had his bird there so he can read it.
Yes.
You're blind.
Yeah, I guess after like
A really bad joke. I'm sorry.
yeah, after noticing that Jacob isn't his head isn't matching up exactly where the book is where I'm pointing at, I'm like, you cannot see this. The blindfold is in the way.
No,
I'm joking. I figured you're blind after you walked into all those people.
Yeah.
All right.
Friend.
So while you guys are kind of discussing this and having this discussion, Diana, what are you doing during that 20 minutes that Oak is talking with his mother? Think you're muted there, Diana.
Yeah, I know I'm muted. It's a bitch to like mute and unmute on my phone with so many video feeds.
Nice. Here, let's just add in more.
Yeah.
No, I said Diana went to go talk to the chief.
Okay. So, you approach the chief's tent?
And when she gets there, because I don't know if there would be like guards or some shit in front of it.
There isn't. You don't see any like guards standing out front anyway, as far as you can tell.
So she's gonna. Is the flaps open or are they closed?
They are closed.
She's going to look at them, sigh, and then just. What did she hear that the chief's name was?
You haven't necessarily heard it. Unless you were over listening into Oak and his mother's conversation, you hadn't heard it.
So she's just gonna look at the flaps and go, "Excuse me for not knowing your name, chieftain, but can we talk?"
And so you're just kind of saying this at the tent.
Because she saw him go into his tent.
Yeah. How loudly are you saying this? This is a fairly large tent.
Huh?
How loudly are you saying this? This is a fairly large tent. I mean, it's almost like a structure.
Like, if you want to go inside?
If you wanted to.
I guess she'll poke her head in.
Okay.
To see if she can spot the chief?
Alright. Give me a perception check.
Okay, give me a second. I have to find it. 21.
Okay. So you see that this tent, which is quite large, is probably, as you look in by your estimates, it's almost like a yurt. I don't know. Do you know what a yurt is?
No.
Okay. Think of it like a big frickin' circle with a dome top. Okay, and
kind of like a circus tent?
Sort of, but not really.
Okay.
But it's almost like, yeah, it's like a big yurt, like a 20-30 foot diameter interior, and it looks like interior portions of it might even be sectioned off by kind of temporary walls to create small rooms. But you do see all the way directly across from the entrance, kind of all the way at the back, the center area is fairly open, and towards the middle back portion, uh, in the very center seems to be like a fire pit, and kind of just beyond that, a little ways, there seems to be a fairly large looking, chair type of structure. It's more like a giant beanbag. Okay? And sitting in it is the chieftain, and standing next to the chieftain, you notice this other individual that is kind of leaning on a staff a little bit. Their left side is towards you, and their left arm seems to be kind of held up at their side a little bit, and a bit deformed, like it's been, through something, like an accident or something. And
Someone did it.
yes,
So
and
once she
and
sees
they are talking.
once she sees them, she's going to step inside a little bit, and she'll speak loud enough for them to hear her, but stay towards the entrance, and go, "Forgive me for intruding, and I apologize for not actually knowing your name, Chieftain, but may we speak?"
Okay. As you say that, the other individual turns and looks at you with just this kind of look of disgust and like, how, like a look of how dare you? Yeah, how dare you?
Oh, dead.
She's just gonna raise an eyebrow at him, completely unfazed.
Yeah. He didn't say that, it's just that's how he looks, that look on his face. And you also notice
she's
that
just gonna
one of
raise
his...
an eyebrow at him.
Yeah, and when he turns to look at you, one of his eyes is like just a complete mess. It looks like it has been gouged through, and what's left of it, you can kind of see is just milky white, and then huge scars running right through the side of his face. And it's just mangled. This guy looks pretty hideous.
Question.
Yes.
Diana's going to be focusing hard on this, so can I roll for an insight for the overall, trying to see if anyone tries to lie to her or like hide things from her?
Yeah, if that's exactly what you'd be rolling them for. So if and when they say anything that you want to check, that's what insight's for. So
No, like I want to roll it now, because every little thing that is going to be said to her, she's going to be purely focusing on if someone is lying to her or trying to hide something.
It's not one blanket roll for everything though. It's yeah.
It is an individual roll for everything.
It's based on what you're trying to, what
then
are they trying to do?
I apologize in advance because I'm going to be rolling a lie.
That's fine. So the chief kind of looks up, looks over at the one next to him, and says, "It is okay, Thunder. You may enter."
Thank you, Chieftain. I'll fully admit, I only know of your tribe through what Oak has told me, which has not been the best. So, I'm trying to figure out what is going on, because while I am not a part of your tribe, and you say that Oak comes to you first, he is still my family. And I just want to understand.
I am not sure what you are asking.
We were told that Oak wasn't allowed to be a part of your tribe. So why are you asking him to come back?
Oak left us.
Like I said, I'm sorry, guys, but she's gonna be checking literally
Oak
everything.
literally told Diana this like 2 hours ago.
Yep.
Yep.
I didn't hear that.
Yep.
Yeah,
was
when
looking
he
at
asked
the
You can roll an insight check if you want. I mean,
when Oak asked you
Is
to
that the truth, though?
all right. What was that? I couldn't make that out.
Is that actually the truth, though, because of what Oak said?
You can
Yeah.
You can roll an insight check if you want. I mean, you can choose to believe Oak or not believe Oak. I mean, it's entirely up to you.
I'm gonna still do it. Oh my god, I got a 20.
Okay. You believe he's telling the truth.
And she's been like, then do you know why Oak is so afraid? He's never been like that with any of us. He's always been the one who was the most confident and the strongest.
Yeah, they took-
The chief turns and looks at the one next to him, who looks back at the chieftain, and then he says, the one with one eye turns and looks towards you and says, Oak committed several, how shall I say, cursed actions against the tribe.
Oak is cursed. Or at
I
least
got it.
that's what his tribe believes.
I got a 19. Like I said, I am double checking everything they tell me.
You believe he's telling the truth.
She's gonna be a little annoyed that he spoke because she's not talking to him, and look to the chieftain and go, like, trying to make it obvious she's talking to him. She's not talking to whoever the fuck the dude is.
Who the fuck you are? Fuck you.
And she's gonna look at the chieftain and go, may I ask what he did? I don't want to step on toes while we're here since you were the ones who brought us.
He was born.
In matters of magic, I defer to my shaman. And he looks over at the shaman. And the shaman kind of bows his head for a second and looks at you and says, Oak has a curse upon him. It is unnatural. It causes him to behave in ways that could harm the tribe. And he has done so twice. Here is one example, as he points to his ruined face and his twisted arm.
Diana's just gonna look at him, kind of unamused, and just go, how old was Oak when that happened?
Old enough.
That is not what I asked.
That is the answer you get.
Well, I rolled a nat 20, so
For what?
insight.
Do you believe he's telling the truth?
And she's gonna stop and go, in the form of the curse that you're talking about, what is it that makes you believe he's cursed? What actions is it that makes you believe that? Because believe me
is,
when I say I am well versed within magic myself.
It
So,
is a magic that is unnatural. And unnatural magics cannot be known.
you claim unnatural magics can't be known. Do you even know what magic is then?
You bore me with your ignorance of our ways.
I fully admit it. I don't understand your tribe. I'm trying to understand.
At this point, Oak, it has been about 20 minutes.
Okay.
So you have stepped out of your
And
mother's
Oak has
tent.
Oak has walked out of his mother's tent. He's been holding his breath for 2 minutes because he didn't realize he wasn't breathing, and he fell face first onto the ground. And then he gets back up. He's like, "I'm okay."
Krim is just
And
looking at him,
then-
just
And then he's gonna turn to Harim, and he's gonna be like, Harim, where's Jacob? And you know what? I should talk to Great Bear. And then he's gonna head over towards the big tent.
Okay, so you start heading over that way. Okay, so Diana, what was your last question again?
Oh god, what was my last question? She's gonna look at them and she's gonna say, I admitted when I came in, I don't fully understand your tribe. I'm trying to.
One who is not of the tribe cannot understand our ways. What?
No, but I at least understand shifters.
But you could be given an opportunity as you are of the people. We will see tonight.
And she's gonna sigh and she's like, what is it that you think he can't? And she's gonna pause and she's gonna think over her question next, and she's gonna look at the shaman and go, is it something you think he can't control?
Curses cannot be controlled. Okay, at this time you have gotten to the tent flaps. What was your question?
I have a quick question, because it's not a matter of speaking or whatnot. It's a matter of, can I roll to see if Diana recognizes the connection between a quote-unquote curse that can't be controlled and Oak's raging?
I would say, being you do not necessarily have an intimate knowledge of barbarians, but you do understand Arcana, I will let you roll a straight Arcana roll.
Dice, don't fail me now.
Fail the dice. Fail our dice.
I got a 19 plus 4.
Okay.
So I got a 23.
Okay. You know that curses indeed can't necessarily be controlled. They have to be purged from someone, typically through like a restoration or greater restoration, typically, or remove curse spell. That's usually the ways to get rid of curses, and that one so afflicted by a curse cannot necessarily control themselves. Equating that to a barbarian's rage-like ability, typically rages, it seems like those are something that you can control, that you can, what you've seen, it seems like Oak goes into a rage when Oak wants to. So, you would think that maybe that could be a connection, but you just aren't positive, because it just, there just seems to be too many dissimilarities there.
Yeah, but depending on how young Oak was when that incident happened, he wouldn't have known how to control the rays.
You don't know that for sure, though. You're.
Hence why she asked how old he was.
Yep. Apparently, he was old enough. So you have reached the tent flaps there, Oak.
Oak is gonna kind of just like, Chief Great Bear, may I come in, please? I'd like to speak with you.
I'm assuming Prim is on Oak's shoulder.
Okay.
Probably.
You hear that as well, Diana, and the chief goes, "Enter."
Oh yikes.
And Oak will enter, and you know he's very much keeping his head down and not making eye contact. Like just the occasional glance upward, but like not making eye contact much.
No reaction to Diana being in there.
Well, no, he's like, oh yeah, Diana would be in there. I forgot about that part. He would see Diana, heads up for a second, and just kind of step in front of her, just like, I'm sorry if she said anything rude or insensitive. She's very blunt. And a good friend of mine, so please don't hurt her. Like his neck is slowly his head is slowly sinking into his neck.
Okay. And where exactly are you looking as you say all this stuff?
He's kind of looking in between Great Bear and Thunder.
Okay. So you're not looking directly at them, but you do catch out of the corner of your eye the look on Thunder's face, even if it wasn't as mangled as half of it is. Diana, you thought you got a look of disgust. This is a look of pure hatred. And just, like, you can tell. It's like he almost has something in the back of his throat that he just wants to spit and get rid of. He's just so disgusted by looking at you, and his eyes are just have this burning intensity. It's almost like they're trying to drill right through you.
Oak is used to it. He spent 9 years with everyone just staring at him like he was an idiot. So
what you do also notice though is things have definitely changed. A lot more so than you realized with yourself. Because even with your head kind of not looking up fully... Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Lost a video feed.
Bard.
Yep, lost a bard. Oh, there it's back. That was quick. But even not looking up fully with your head kind of up, you realize that Thundar is actually kind of standing on a slightly raised surface, and so is this beanbag type chair. And he is still looking up towards you.
Aw, he's got a Napoleon complex.
Yes, he's now Diana, you would realize he's not short. He's just not as tall as Oak. And you know he's probably a good 3-4 inches shorter than Oak, and he's only on a maybe inch or two platform higher. So you realize he's got a slightly upward look, looking at you. You're like, last time I remember him being bigger. The chieftain, on the other hand, you remember from when you were standing out in the woods. He's probably got a good 6 inches on him. He is tall and he is just massive, man.
Diana, now that Oak's there, she's just going to very lightly touch his back as if to remind him she's still there. And just softer than how she was talking to the other two go, this is gonna seem like an odd question, but Oak, How old were you
Old
when they
enough.
claimed you as cursed?
Oh, that?
Specifically with that one. And she's gonna point at the shaman.
Rim's gonna puff out his chest. Just
I think it was like 2. Yeah, it was like the day after the ceremony. The totem. Yeah. I was 2.
And she's just gonna look at the shaman with this look of, you fucking dumbass. She doesn't say it, but she has that look on her face.
Okay.
And then he turns to Diana and he's like, "You also forget, we age a lot faster than you, okay?
It's
So I was
still
the equivalent
fact
of like
you
5.
were 2, Oak. Whether
It doesn't
you age
necessarily
faster
matter.
or
I was still
not,
part of a tribe.
Oak.
Are you
Do you
having this
know what-
discussion out loud, by the way?
Probably knowing those two.
Probably. We're totally ignoring.
And
You
she's
hear,
gonna go,
you all of a sudden hear,
And then Oak kind of just like straightens up and he's just like, "I'm so sorry, Chief Great Bear. I did not mean to speak out of turn, I guess.
what is it you want?
I've been gone for so long, 10 years, and I was wondering. My mother told me that Redfern died. How did she go?
She passed 2 winters ago. I was sad to see her go, but age caught up with her. Fortunately, her apprentice has helped us along on a new path.
An incompetent one.
Do you say that out loud?
No, if she did, it is so under her breath and not even in common.
What language is it in?
Either way,
It would have been like really quiet and Sylvan.
Okay.
Oak is just gonna like elbow her in like the stomach or something. Just like, I know you're fucking saying something under your breath, and I'm just like, he's not gonna say that, but he's just like,
saying, but I know you're talking shit.
I know you're talking shit. Stop it.
All right. So, I lost train of thought. So, what were you wanting again?
Well, first he asked how Redfern died.
Yeah.
And how did the previous deputy die? Because I know Turon wasn't always the deputy.
Turon
How did that happen?
Turon made a challenge and Turon won. Simple.
Of course he did. That makes a lot of sense. I did not think this through before coming inside here. I apologize.
Diana's just gonna reach forward and lightly lay her hand on his arm and just look at him and go, remember when I was panicked about having to use my title again? And what you told me?
No.
She's gonna chuckle a little at that and she's gonna go, oh, you're the one who told me just because it's a part of my past, it doesn't make me who I am.
Oak will nod. And just because he wants to go into this, Oak wants to go into this whole thing right now about how a lot of things, well, just a lot of things, but he can't do that right now with Thunder and Great Bear there.
And she's just gonna say one more thing softly. It's like, you're fine, Oak. You're not the same little kid that you were. You've grown.
And then Oak is gonna say something stupid. He's
Oh
like,
god.
I want to challenge 2-Run.
And Diana's
Great.
like, what?
Great Bear, you hear him take a. We haven't had a good challenge in a while.
Prince just
Perfect.
And Diana's like,
He stands up and immediately walks towards the entrance of the tent and out. And you hear
Rogar, something fucked up.
Uh,
Oak did a dumb. Oak did something very stupid.
what?
do you guys step out to investigate, or? Yeah, I mean you've got Grim on him.
Jacob does,
Okay.
then I would.
I mean, Prim heard it and relayed the information.
Okay.
Just maybe
Oak
challenge
shut it down.
the guy that was trying to kill him.
All right. So, Oak and Diana, do you follow the chieftain outside? As
Yes.
he said?
Diana's gonna
Go ahead. Diana.
Diana's gonna look at the shaman for a second before turning and looking at Oak and just, you know what? You want to do this?
Fucking do it.
Kick his ass.
Time I got over my fears.
Fuck yeah.
All right. So as you step out of the tent behind where the chieftain went out, and the shaman is kind of following behind you, and Jacob and Rogar, if you step out of the tent, what you see is everybody is coming out of their tents. And as they all start to converge closer to the chieftain's tent and stand before him, something like 50, 60 people. Some children with just, young running around. Some of them just butt-ass naked running around.
Nice.
Little kids. Young men and women
As they
whose hair is cut really short. Those who are slightly older, their hair longer, a few braids and beads in them. And then those that look more grizzled, with long hair, warriors' muscles, some of them with scars, all stand before the chieftain. And he says, "Turon! You have been challenged! Step forth!" The crowd kind of parts around one of the tents over on the left side of the from the chief's tent, the right side from where you are, Jacob and Rogar.
Oh boy.
And Turon steps forth into kind of the middle of this grouping of people who then back out to make a large circle. The chieftain looks back over his shoulder at you, Oak. Oak, prove your worth.
to the one fight. Shit.
Diana's
I forgot about that part.
Yeah, Diana's going to grab Oak's arm again to get his attention for a second and look at him and go, "You haven't talked about them a lot, but those two braids in your hair that you had us cut out, do it for them and do it for us."
You don't have to do it for me.
Do it for you, Rogar. Only for you.
You. Oh, okay.
As do you step into this big circle?
He doesn't step fully into it because he wants to say something first.
Okay.
He's speaking to the whole tribe. He's like, "I'm not cursed. I may be a bastard son of an outsider, but I am not cursed. I have a rate. I get angry, I know that. But I use my anger to save and protect my friends.
Diana, the moment she hears that, she's gonna go, I fucking knew it! It was the barbarian bullshit! The moment she hears Oak say that.
Keep going there,
It's
Oak.
like, sorry, continue.
I almost killed Turon, but I didn't. I didn't because I was scared of what I could do when I wasn't raging.
Do it.
Turon, who is in the circle fully.
Oh wait, Oak isn't done yet. I was
Okay.
figuring out what to say.
Okay.
Turon was insulting my mother, degrading my honor, and slandering the act of me protecting the forest that we used to live in. This time, I'm not holding back. Turon attacked me before I could do anything. I barely had time to protect myself. He left me for dead. And then he'll step into the circle.
Okay. Turon looks up and looks at you, looks at the chieftain. How can you let this one challenge? He's not even a full member of the tribe. And the chief looks and says, as I recall, he completed warrior training, same as you. He left before completing the ceremonies. That is the only difference. This is a proof enough of challenge. You say you beat him before, then it should be nothing. He looks to you. And if you can defeat him, you are obviously one of us. The shaman comes up and whispers in the
Can I use
chieftain's
counter
ear. You use counter charm? Okay, go ahead.
The reason I ask is because of the way things were phrased earlier, it gives anybody, myself, and people I deem friendly advantage on being charmed or tricked.
Okay.
Which probably is useless, but I just want to be safe. And
So,
make sure that Thunder can't say his opinion.
Okay, so you're trying to counter whatever the shaman is saying to the chieftain.
If it's against Oak, yes.
Okay. Okay. Good to know. Alright, so the shaman whispers something to the chieftain, and you see for a moment the chieftain's eyes kind of glaze over. Then he kind of grits his teeth and shakes his head. And he says, I have made my decree, shaman.
I was right!
Go, Diana!
Yeah.
Okay, and, oh, by the way, Oak, it looks like chat has given you an advantage.
Yeah, chat, you're the best!
It's time.
So, because this is a Oak-only fight, can I technically still give him both of my bardic inspirations?
Give me an intelligence check.
Okay. My intelligence has a +1. I got a 19 +1, and I will even screenshot this bitch to show
Oh, no,
you.
I believe you. I believe you. So, you have a strong feeling that any outside interference in this fight would not be good for the outcome
Okay.
of the fight,
I
because
just want
if it was discovered, then it would dishonor the combatant that it was used to help. Or,
So I have a question. Most charm spells, if the person is able to shake out of it, realizes they were almost charmed. So does that mean the chieftain just realized what the shaman tried to do?
You don't know.
We don't know.
I as a player am curious, just because of how the spells work.
John,
This
Then
is
we
for
will
me.
find
you
out.
don't even know what spell or what it was or what effect it is.
God
You're
damn
just
it,
making
I'm
an
just glad I
assumption.
knew to use it.
You're just making an assumption right now.
I'm just glad I got it. I'm proud of myself. Leave me alone.
Okay. So, Turong kind of nods to the chief. Yes, chief. He pulls his axe out,
We're weapon fighting.
and then he smacks it into his hand, flat of it,
Oh my goodness.
and then takes the edge of one of the, it's a double-headed battle axe, takes one of the edges of the blades and just cuts a thin line across one side of his chest, licks it, and then and you see him instantly go into his shifted form.
Okay.
Fuck him out, Oak.
And then I will need you to roll initiative, Oak.
Okay. 11. I used the advantage that I already have for initiative roll for my
Okay.
barbarian trait.
Oh, it's going on in here.
Okay.
Oh,
I am just
boy.
going to use these two to represent you guys in Tailspire real quick, so that I can keep track of stats and stuff, and who's basically initiative tracker. Alright. Okay, so currently you guys are about, say about 15 feet apart. And you each got about, 5 feet behind you before the circle comes around. So it's about a good 20, 25 foot diameter circle, and then you're a little ways in.
Diana is going to turn to the chieftain. And how big is this circle you said that they're in?
About 20, 25 feet diameter.
So she's going to look at the chieftain and go, if I may, would you be alright with me putting up a wall to prevent them from hitting any of the people?
No!
Just thought I'd ask.
Okay, that's fine.
Alright, so...
My bad.
So, Oak, guess what? You are
I
actually
go
first.
first.
Yep. You are actually first. So,
Woo! Okay.
go ahead and do what you're gonna do.
Well, first, Oak is gonna rage.
Okay.
So that's my bonus action.
Alright.
Then, Oak is gonna move towards Mr. Magoo to run, bitch. And he's gonna swing his great axe 2 times. Please, please, dice gods. Okay, one is a nat 20.
Okay.
The other
That's pretty good.
is a calculator. Other is an 18.
Okay, so the nat 20 hits.
Okay.
And so go ahead and roll for critical damage. So you're going to double all
And I'm
the
raging.
dice. Yep, and you're raging.
I'm raging.
So you're going to double all the dice and then add whatever your modifiers are.
Okay.
It's math. It's a little complicated.
17 damage.
Okay.
And that's double?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just kidding.
Well, I rolled 2 dice, so because I had one d12 and then you double it, which is another d12, and then I rolled both.
Okay.
Or do I just double the 11 that I got?
No, you double the dice and then you add your modifiers. So
Got it.
You're doing, you rolled 1d12, right? So you actually roll
Yeah.
2d12 and then add your modifiers.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, so that is your 2 attacks, and you bonus action to rage, right? And I assumed you use your movement to move up closer.
Yes, and
Okay.
did I hit with the second attack? The 18?
You did not.
Oh, wow. Okay, he is wearing armor.
Yes, he is.
That bitch.
Okay. So
That
Not even a
coward.
real barbarian.
yeah, so he brings his
Ran on the tribe.
his axe around. Oh, come on. Oh, it's
No.
being slow. Don't freeze up on me.
Yes.
I love it when it does that. Hold
Nice.
on 1 second.
Dice float in midair.
Yes. Just be a moment to fix that. And loading back in. Doo-doo-doo.
Just takes a few moments.
Alright, there we go. Okay, so where was I? One of these. Okay, so I am pretty sure that's going to hit Oak's AC. Yes,
Yeah,
that
it's
is a 25 to hit.
What the shit? Okay. But it does half damage.
That's
And
a big boy.
the other one is a 14 on the nose. So the first attack hits with his axe, doing 14 damage. The
But is that reduced to half?
Reduced to half, reduced to 7. Because
Okay.
you're raging. And the second attack hits barely with that 14, doing 7 damage, reduced to 3 because you're raging.
Okay.
And he does not really like the fact that when he hit you, it didn't seem to do as much as he thought. It's kind of like the really big, overly enormous bad guy in a movie, and then the good guy who is like half their size, who's been kicking ass the entire movie, comes up and just hauls off and decks him, and the guy just kind of goes, "Ugh." And just kind of shakes
So
it off.
Captain America. I'm Captain America right now.
You kind of Captain
With an
America
axe.
that. Yes, basically.
I'm Captain America with an axe.
Yes. Yeah, you just shrugged it off. From
Captain
so to
Axe
speak.
America.
And he's not liking that. He doesn't like what happened there, so he's like, "Ugh." And it is your turn.
Diana's like bouncing up and down next to the chieftain with anxiety.
Oh, I don't like. Okay.
Okay. smoke is now going to shift,
Okay.
and he becomes a wolf boy,
Yes.
and he howls at the sky.
Okay.
And then he swings his great axe another
All right.
2 times.
Come on.
All right, there we go. Now we got some
Nice.
good battle music. I don't know if you guys can hear it.
I'm in
Nah,
Tailspire, so
I
can.
Tailspire because I was like,
Alright.
my computer is gonna explode.
I don't know if anyone
can
can
I-
hear it on the stream, but it's pretty cool.
I'm going
It's
to
pretty
use
nice.
that advantage that the lovely chat person gave me.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay? Never mind. So I hit only once with a 23.
Okay, yeah, that
It was
definitely
not an
hits. That definitely hits.
So 4 damage.
Okay. And he takes all of that 4 damage.
Good.
Alright. It is now his turn. As he takes one swing with his axe. And that's going to hit. And then attempts to bite you with his fangs. And he rolled a nat 20.
Fuck. Okay.
So his
It's
axe...
still.
So his axe does a whopping 5 damage reduced to 2 because you're raging.
Haha.
Yes. However, his bite being a crit,
Ooh.
Does that still get to reduce to half?
as far as you know, is 9 damage reduced to 4.
Yay! So it was 3 and 4?
2 and 4.
2 and 4. Okay, sweet.
Okay.
I'm bad at math.
However, I now need you to make an opposed grapple check. So, at strength athletics.
You got this.
Kick his ass, Oak!
20. 20. Dirty 20.
Okay, tie goes to the runner. So you are not grappled.
Woo! Ha 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 ha
He didn't get a firm enough grip with his teeth to latch onto you. Yeah, that was exactly a tie. So, all right. So that is his turn. It is your turn again.
Okay. 2 great axe swings, if you please.
Mhm.
One is a 21 to hit.
That will hit.
The other is a 18 to hit, which does not hit.
Actually, nope, that does not.
And then we've got a 16 for damage for that one hit. And then I'm going to use my bow.
16?
Yeah, I
Holy.
rolled a 12, and then my modifier is a +2 because of my strength. And then I've got another +2 on top of that.
Yep. Damn. He felt that one.
And then, yeah. And then I'm gonna bite him.
Okay.
Heck yeah. Beat him up.
Diana's just over here like, hello!
That was a 12.
Nope, that doesn't hit him. As your
Yeah.
teeth bounce off of his armor.
Armor.
So next, he takes a step back from you, throws his axe down.
He's moving away from me, isn't
This
he?
is dramatic effect.
Yeah,
In
but-
reality, he's not really moving away from you. I'm just giving you dramatic
Damn.
effect. He
Double
steps.
save.
He takes just a step back from you, throws his axe into the ground, puts his hands like this, and says, "Let's see if you're a real man. Come on."
Ooh.
And his claws lengthen,
Yike.
and he's like, "Ah!" And he leaps straight for you, attacking with both claws and a bite, trying to grab onto you with those. So I'm just going to
Okay.
roll all 3 at once. Do it easier. So that will be a hit with one claw, a miss with the other, and a hit with the third, or with the bite. So as one claw does 7 reduced to 3, and the bite does 5 reduced to 2. And I will need another strength athletics
You got this.
as he attempts to grapple you. With
There
the,
goes my temporary hit points.
You can do it. Wait, now you have no temporary hit points? Now you're at your normal
No
68?
temporary hit. I am at my I have my normal 68, but I'm at 56.
Okay.
Nice.
What'd you get for your strength
And-
athletics?
24.
You beat him barely. So you
Oh,
are still
God.
not grappled. So, and it is now your turn.
And then Oak is like, a real man? Wow. Have you seen any of those around here?
Nice.
Like, that's my boy!
So Rogo, what are we gonna do if he does die?
Oak is going to attack with his great axe again.
Okay.
That's fucking
12. That's a 17. Okay, those don't hit.
Nope.
Well, now he's gonna bite him.
Okay.
That's a 16. That doesn't hit.
None of those hit.
Beyond, you're failing me.
As he,
Tell him he's weak for armor.
as
Yeah, call him a coward because he's wearing armor. Try to taunt him.
Real man wouldn't wear armor into a fight, you bitch.
Roger looks heavily offended.
as he
It's not to you. It's one-on-one barbarian.
he attempts to. No, he doesn't. Not with that roll. Actually, you know what? I am going to go ahead and use my GM advantage that I have.
Oh no.
No!
And okay, so that will hit. So I need a strength athletics check again.
You got this!
Ooh, that's not going to be good for you.
23.
Yeah, here, he didn't try to grapple you this time. He kind of leapt forward from all fours and slammed into you and has knocked you prone.
Fuck.
And now he attempts to bite at you while you are on the ground.
Uh-oh.
Now I want to punch him.
And that will indeed hit. Actually, I need to roll because you are prone. Advantage just to see if he gets a crit, which he does not.
Woo.
But that is 6 reduced to 3 because you're raging. With his bite, and he's got you on the ground. Once again, now that he shoved you and got you down, he is attempting to grapple you while you're on the ground. So roll it. Strength athletics.
9.
You are now grappled, so your speed is 0. Which means until you break the grapple, you don't have any movement to stand up.
Okay.
But that is his turn. It is your turn now.
Oh,
Okay, since-
that is a
since-
good brought up there from the chat.
Hold on. I had to do...
Oh, yeah! I get advantage. Because I'm raging. On strength-based
Oh,
stuff.
you do. Yep. So you roll 2 because you got both of those.
Nice call up there, Sky.
Yep. So the first one is for the shove.
That one, I got a 7, and this one, I got a 20.
Okay, so you did not get grappled, but you did get shoved down onto the ground.
Okay, that's fair.
That's fine.
That's fine. Oak?
Is it bad I want Diana to yell, go for the balls?
Nothing wrong with that. You can yell that.
Just heart more.
Hit him in the dick.
Go for the taint! Go for the taint!
That Mama Oak?
Yes,
Go,
that's
son!
her.
Aim for the taint!
Just, you're doing great, sweetie.
Kick him in the nards. Nice.
I believe in you, son. What do I want to do?
I mean, you could still just get up and swing at him, but
Yeah, but that's no fun. That's actually a lot of fun, actually. Oak is just gonna get up and he's gonna make another swing. Two more
Okay.
swings with his great axe.
Okay.
That will be a 20
Okay.
and a 23.
Both of those will hit.
Yes.
Do it.
The first one is 11 points of damage.
Sure, you get.
Okay.
The next one is 14 points of damage.
Holy beaver.
Yes.
Okay.
And then,
Okay.
Oak is going to bite him.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a 16, that doesn't hit.
No.
No.
So now it is his turn. And so what he does is he uses an action to disengage.
Disengage?
Yep.
You weak boy.
wait, doesn't that mean you get an attack on him?
Yep,
Oh, that's
I
right,
get an
you're
attack.
you're a sentinel. That's right. So you go ahead
Aw,
and take
damn
your
it. 12.
Nope, that
No.
doesn't hit. He picks up his axe again. He's like, damn it. And then he uses his bonus action. And okay. So you see him. He kind of takes a deep breath, breathes it out, and he looks a little
He's
bit better.
fighter. He's got a second wind. Fuck you.
Yep. He looks a little better. And
You bitch.
then it is your turn.
Okay. Another couple swings with my great axe. That's a 3. That's not gonna hit. And that's another 23.
That will hit.
Kick his ass.
Get him.
That'll be 7 damage for that one. And I am once again going to bite.
Okay.
Go for the neck.
Ah, that's an 18.
Nope.
Nah.
So
These fights are knitting.
this time, he hauls off with his great axe and swings at you.
Oh. Wait a minute, that's not fair. What happened to the fisticuffs?
He gets a crit.
Fuck.
Oh,
Oh, well, you know
where's
what?
that?
Never mind.
A crit, a 27 for that, a 19, an 18, and the last one misses as he attacks twice,
Are they?
and then with impossible speed seems to go again to attack twice more. So three of them hit. So the first one was a crit, so I'm rolling that first.
Uh-oh.
And that is going to be 12 reduced to 6. And then the other two, I'm just going to roll them at the same time. The other two that hit is going to be
You can do
24 damage total between the two hits, reduced to 12.
Whew.
And that is his actions. It is your turn.
Okay. I'm almost down to half health. It's time to
just, I'm almost down to half health. Now it's time to be for real.
For reals, yo. Okay.
It's like good.
Meanwhile, Diana's just out here yelling words of encouragement. Because it's what she does.
So how badly do you think they'll have to drag away the body?
We're going
If
with
it's
another
OP wings,
great axe hit.
I don't know if
Okay.
there will be a body.
That is another 23 to hit, and then
Yep.
there's a 10.
Alright, well, the 23 will hit.
Just washed both my hands.
Do it. Murder.
6 points of damage for that one.
Okay. Alright.
And then we're going for another fight.
Bite him!
Going into dice jail. Bad dice.
Was that a nat 1?
No, it was a 3.
Oh.
It's
All
still
right.
bad.
So that's your turn. It's his turn. As he takes another 2 swings at you. Both of those will definitely hit.
Damn it.
As he does a total of 20 reduced to 10.
Whew. Oh, jeez. Oh, we're getting close, man.
And
Whew. Oh, no.
then it's your turn.
Okay.
Come on! Do it.
Is he looking bloodied?
He looks pretty bad right now. You kind of see him. He seems to be favoring one side. He's kind of breathing a bit heavy. The axe swings aren't coming as quickly, but they still hurt a lot when they hit.
Okay.
Being with your hands. Show that you're the better man. He is
Now
weak.
we're gonna go for 2 more great axes.
No. Well, I guess that works.
Oh,
Come on, dice.
You can do this.
That's a 21 to hit.
Yes.
That hits.
Yes.
That's a 7,
Dude.
and the other one's a 7. That one doesn't work.
No, that one doesn't.
That one's
hit.
it. That one. Five points of damage.
I have one question for you. Show me what you got.
Yes!
Okay. So, as soon as that one, that hit lands, Oak is dropping his axe and he's gonna tackle Turon
And just beat the shit.
and put him in a headlock.
Oh,
And
hell
he's
yes.
gonna say, "Yield!"
Okay. Roll an intelligence check with advantage.
You got this.
Because Oak isn't gonna kill him.
Yep.
They're the same number. Okay. 15.
15, not bad.
Nice.
Okay. Not that you would care, but you would know that if you did kill him, then that would be showing him honor in battle. If you force him to submit,
That's
he will be shamed big time.
Do it.
Oh no!
Hell
Oh,
yes.
You know what?
Hell yes.
You know what?
Oak
He
wants
shamed
this.
me. So.
Oak wants this.
All right.
That's what's up.
So you slip in a rear naked choke on this guy, going all MMA Oak on him, and he's like, no, no, and he taps out.
Yes! And then he'll just like throw him down on the ground.
And,
Like, yes!
and then he basically just passes out.
Holy shit.
Diana is going to scream so loud in joy.
and everyone, you hear from all around you, I would say Jacob and Rogar especially, you're kind of shocked by this. Diana, because of how sensitive your ears are,
She doesn't
you're,
care.
you're almost kind of disoriented because it's so loud. Everybody around
Okay, but
the
can she
ring
run
is.
forward and hug Oak?
Yeah, you can do that, but everybody around the circle just, you know, there's like wolf howls and bear just growls. It is just a cacophony of noise just everywhere. And
Oak howls along with them.
I will say, because you're right near there, Diana, I'm going to give you a perception check, just to catch.
Okay, hang on. I had gone to Oak's sheet to look at his stuff, so give me half a second.
All right. Yeah, you should be able to see it on the
I'm on
overlay
the
on
phone.
the stream.
That is true.
I'm on the phone.
What's going on?
Perception.
I think Oak beat the shit out of the other person and
Nat 20.
Okay.
fucked them up, basically.
You
And
notice
that's
out of
not even including my modifier.
yeah, you notice out of the corner of your eye as you run towards Oak that it seems like the only one that isn't howling and cheering is the shaman. He actually kind of turned and slunk off, you saw. But yeah, you can run in and hug Oak.
Oak will hug her back. He's happy. He's excited. He's in his place at his tribe again.
The cat.
And after, I mean, it seems like a good, solid, 45 seconds to a minute of just noise. The chief finally steps into the ring himself, to the center, raises his arms, and everyone kind of begins to fall silent. And he looks at you, Oak, and he says, "Obviously, there was never a curse. This is my new deputy! Everyone recognize now!" And again, wah! Just noise everywhere.
Holy
And
shit.
that is where we are going to end for tonight. So, I want to thank everyone who came to watch the stream. I hope you had a fun time. I hope you enjoyed it. Real quick announcement. Tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be another of Klein NF and I's collaborative build streams, if you want to join us for that. But other than that, we will see you guys next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, for our next episode of The Blackest Heart. Bye, everyone.
Peace.